Hi everyone, it is 3:30 p.m. here in New York, and it is raining outside. It is raining. I don't see much snow in our forecast, so it looks like we might have a semi-green Christmas this year here in New York. Now remember, I live in New York State, not New York City. I'm nowhere near New York City. I've never been to New York City. Came close, but September 11th kept me away. Anyways, what do I want to talk about in this video? Well, I would like to do a weather update with you guys, but my depression, my agoraphobia, my head pain, which is stress related, is actually keeping me inside. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about mental health. You all know that I have no problems talking about my mental health. And I like to advocate for people that struggle with mental health problems. I have struggled with my mental health since 2009. There's a possibility it was before that because of military and being with abusive men. But the one that hit me the worst, that put me on medication, was in 2009, and that was from my first husband. So I have no problems talking about my mental health. I don't. And people always say that because I am able to talk about everything I've gone through, the trauma, the pain, everything that I've gone through, the hurt, the heartbreak, people say that I should be a mentor, and I should go around and speak at some facilities. And I've actually thought about doing that, but my mental health keeps me from being able to talk in public to people. And you're probably thinking, well, you're a TikToker, aren't you? You're a vlogger, aren't you? Do content creating, don't you? Yeah, I do. But you're not here face to face with me. Okay? I panic very easily. Okay? Those heart palpitations, they go like freaking crazy. I go into fight, flight, and fawn mode in no time. Anyways, let's talk about mental health. The holidays. Holidays can be a really bad time for a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that don't have family, they don't have friends. Kind of like my husband and I. There's people out there that, their parents are gone. Mine are both gone. My husband's are gone as well. His toxic mother, we kind of wish he was gone. It's hard. It's hard for people that have lost family and they have to celebrate the holidays. And you get to the point that you don't want to celebrate those holidays. And if you have children, you're forced to celebrate those holidays. Me, my depression kicked in really bad, and I took my tree down. I started to just hate the holiday. I started to hate Christmas, and I just took it down and said, screw it. I don't want to look at it anymore. I am done with the holidays because my depression was getting bad. And I'm a person that I have my Christmas tree up 365 days a year, but something in me clicked or snapped, whatever you want to call it, and I took my Christmas tree down. I also took my wreath off the door. Something in me snapped. I lost all heart in the holiday. And that's what happens with a lot of people. There's a lot of people that can't even get out of bed. I have problems getting out of bed because of my depression, and I have nobody to talk to when my husband's off to work. Today, he's working from 8 a.m. till 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I have nobody to talk to today. I end up talking to myself. Talk to some people on the internet, but I highly doubt they're listening. And some people, it's very hard for them to get out of bed. And some people, it's hard to even talk about what they're feeling because they don't want to be judged. And that was the thing of why I never talked about my mental health problems, is I didn't want to be judged. And I did get judged a lot. I got people saying, oh, just get over it, when I would talk about abuse I put up with. If I was having problems with anxiety, my depression, people just like, oh, just take your medication. Well, I'm off that medication, okay? Should I be back on antidepressants? Probably, but I haven't found a proper doctor that would help me, because I don't want to be put on it forever again. But I came off on Xanax, benzodiazepine, because it was doing a lot of damage to me. And for you, all of you that know me from the day one of starting here on TikTok, you understand what I'm talking about my benzo damage and my recovery. I'm currently in the process of writing book number 3 on that one. Well, anyways, there's people out there that they get it in their head that there's nothing left for them, and they don't see a reason of being here on earth. And those thoughts, they go in your head, and some people can't ignore them. I will admit, I have intrusive thoughts quite often. I think it has something to do with the trauma that I've been dealing with, but I ignore them. Do they make me cry? Yeah, they do. But eventually I get over it, and I'm like, you know what? They're just thoughts in my head. But there are a lot of people that can't say that, and they act upon it. Holidays and depression, they go hand in hand. And if you know somebody that does struggle with their mental health, it's best for you to keep an eye on them. Call them, text them, ask them how they are, ask them how their day is. Don't let them feel left out. Because I've had a lot of people ghost me, and I don't know what the heck I did. I didn't do anything. So when somebody's struggling with their mental health during the holidays, it's hard for them to talk about it. And they think if they talk to somebody about it, you know, the person's going to judge them. People are going to just laugh at them. And I've dealt with that. I've dealt with that. People laughing at me. And that got to the point that I did not want to talk about my mental health, because I felt like I was a burden to people. And it got to the point that I would just sit in my room and I would cry. I mean, I just recently had an episode where I was throwing things, nothing that I could break. I threw pillows and whatnot, books, whatever, because it got that bad. And I started crying. I literally started crying. I was in tears. Something snapped in me, and it just felt so alone and lost and whatnot. And yeah, I was home by myself because my husband was working doubles. It just, I hadn't had one of those episodes in quite some time. And that's because I let the thoughts in my head take over. So when you have somebody that's like me, struggles with their mental health, and they do have, you know, that if you know that they have intrusive thoughts, you know, or they don't, communication. Do not leave them out. If you know there's something going on in the town they live in, and you're going to be going out there, invite them. Because you know what? That's the best thing you can do for somebody that struggles with their mental health. Invite them to go somewhere. I missed out on the tree lighting and the parade out where I lived, unfortunately, because my husband was working, and I didn't have anybody that I could call and say, hey, you want to go out there and, you know, watch the tree lighting, watch the parade? I didn't have that. I don't have anybody but my husband. So stay tuned for part 2.